Hello, Laugh and Talk with Mika. Thanks for joining us. I want to take this moment to say thank you to the channel members, Journey with Kiki, Kimberly Davis, Happy 1178, and Lovely Samira. Thank you for your love and support, and I hope that you are truly enjoying your channel memberships. Up next, we have the disclaimer, and I'll be right back.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome back. If you are a returning supporter, I'm here to give you the disclaimers for this here live. Listen, I do not tolerate disrespect. That's in any way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it's towards me, towards anyone that appears on the screen, towards anyone that appears in the chat. If you have not decided to be a better person, most people will tell you to leave, but I'm going to tell you to stick around because maybe something that is said today will encourage you to do so. Now, I am not a mental health professional. I am just one woman willing to share my personal experiences to let you know two things. One, you are not alone, regardless of how much you feel like you are alone, how many times you have felt that, you are not alone. And number two, you can overcome anything that life throws at you. There will be curse words, there will possibly be tears, but knowing me, it probably will be. And my opinions are my opinions. Your opinions are your opinions. We are here to have a nurturing conversations in regards to our opinions so that we will have a better understanding of each other. That's all I got for right now. I hope that you enjoy this nurturing conversation. Let's get to it. Wait. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button that helps me say suggested on YouTube. Make sure that you type in the chat, also leave a comment, and share it with your friends. That's all I got. Let's get into this conversation. I love you. Peace.
Well, I probably should turn the mic on. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome back. If you are a returning supporter, this is Nurturing Conversations, and I am your host, Shell. Today's topic is: Are you okay with you? Are you okay with you? Like many of the other topics that I have chosen for this podcast, I don't know. Sorry, y'all. My glasses is doing a weird thing to me. Maybe I should hold my head like this. I don't know. Anywho, don't mind it. Don't mind me. It just look weird. Um, Many of the topics that I select for this podcast are from personal experiences or things that or topics I just would like to talk about. And today, I'm asking if you are okay with you. That was a question I had to ask myself this week. Um, this week, uh, out of all the weeks of this here year so far, I wouldn't say it was challenging. I would say that it was, hmm, mm, I don't even know what to say. It wasn't challenging. I don't know, insert word here. I don't even have the word. I think I have the word, but I don't even know what word it is. But this week definitely uh, encouraged me to put some things into perspective. It encouraged me to ask myself the tough question of if I am okay with me. Like if I'm okay with where I'm at, if I'm okay with my business being where it's at, if I'm okay with where I live, if I'm okay, period. Um, and so, in doing so, when you actually ask yourself the question, sometimes you might be so inclined to say, "Oh, I'm okay." Somebody asks you how you doing. "Oh, I'm okay." When in reality, you really having a moment where it's like, "I want to do more. I want to do more. My business, my business is my business is on the road to do better, but I know I could do more. I know I'm not giving the fullness. I know that there is something more that I want to do, right?" So this week I just sat down and pretty much looked at my business and was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay with where you at? Are you okay with how far you have grown? Are you okay? Are you doing enough? That's the question. Are you doing enough? Could you do more? And for me, um, I began to highlight the other things that I could be doing, that I should be doing. And some of the things, like you want to start anything and it's like, oh, I don't have the money, or I don't have this, or I don't have that. And then I start to think to myself, because I endeavor to build out a platform to help music creatives, right? And so, in doing so, I that requires me working with a software developer or having a platform built, um, having computer skills. That's what it is. Having software development, software engineer skills. Now, I do have those skills. I just haven't done it in a while, right? I haven't done it in quite a while. And so I was like, you know what? If I could just work with somebody and they could get it put together, then I'll be fine because they could do it. I went yesterday to an event to learn how to use ChatGPT, and when I tell you, my mind was blown. My mind was completely blown. They showed me how to do customer journeys. They showed me um, how to do UX design, like how to like map out US design. Like they showed me how to do so much stuff, and I'm sitting here like, okay, I need to work with this. And then they said, Chat GPT can you could prompt it to do something, and it could do those things. And I was just like, oh my God, my mind is blown. So now I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, what do I want to prompt it to do? And I started thinking about all the things that I need to have done, all the things that I need to do. And I was like, okay, let me see if it could do it. And when I tell y'all, I have had the time of my life with Chat GPT. I'm gonna do a video about it, but that has significantly helped me move my business forward. And now it's like, not are you okay? It's like, what else can I do? I find myself um, talking to music artists or just talking to the community here. And I realized like we don't have an art council. Like most, maybe where you live, there's an art council, but there's no art council here. And so I started thinking to myself, is like, if is that something that I can take on? Is that something that I could do or like start or like initiate? Do I have the capacity to do that? And then I just started thinking, like, you know what? I need to, I'm slowly getting back into working. I'm slowly getting back into being outside. I'm saying slowly because I'm not in a rush. I'm slowly getting into, it's hot. Sorry, guys, if y'all see me sweating. It's hot. And the fan is not fanning right now. So, um, but am I okay enough to take that on? And right now I'm like, I don't have the capacity for it. And so if I don't have the capacity for it, what can I do to take the steps towards that? And so um are you okay? Um Give me one moment. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. Um, are you okay? I forgot what I was talking about before I had to step away. But I want you to ask yourself the question if you are okay. Are you okay with where your life is right now? Are you okay in your relationship? If you're a parent, are you okay with how you are raising your kids? Are you okay? If you are in one sided situations, friendships, relationships, workships, should we call it workships? Are you okay? If you have the tendency of saying, I do for everybody else, but then when it's my turn, if you have had those moments since the global pandemic, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm pretty sure that we've all had the feeling where it's like I do for others and then it comes time for them to do for us and it's like, "Well, I just did this for you. I thought you would do it for me." We've all had those. I'll say I had those moments. And then as I begin the journey of healing and self-discovery, I realized is that um when I do it, I come from a place of I really want to help. I really want to do that. And then it's disappointment. You are disappointed when you fall into the same situations or you need assistance and it doesn't come back to you. It's disappointment that you experience. If you were looking for the word, it's disappointment. And you're disappointed because it's like, man, when you needed me, I was there for you. And now I need you, and there's nobody. Um, I watched the Tiana Taylor movie, 1001 Year or something. I forgot what it was, but I watched it, and she said, two broken people cannot love each other. And I thought about my journey in life so far and how I experienced so many different things and how, you feel like, oh, that was nothing. And you toss it in the back of your mind, or you feel like a situation happened and you're like, well, I'm not going to worry about it because it wasn't really that, we just do this all the time. That ain't nothing, right? And then in the back of our mind, we store that. And then anything that happened along those lines, then we start to respond. We don't necessarily respond to the person who did it to us or who initiate that moment in us. We don't necessarily respond to them, but everyone after that moment, we respond. You ever had a situation where somebody took advantage of you and you're like, no one is ever going to take advantage of me again? And so you perceive things to be one way when they really aren't that way. You ever had somebody genuinely care about you and really wanted to know how you were, but you were so filled with nobody cares anyway, so why would I tell anybody? Or you are filled with what you trying to figure out what I'm doing? You trying to be in my business? I think we are in a place in life where nobody wants to be judged. Nobody wants to be judged. Nobody wants to be told what to do. Nobody wants to be criticized. Nobody wants to be given advice or told about themselves. Is You hear this all the time when people be say, "I know myself better than anybody." Well, if you know yourself better than anybody, I'll just say right here for a minute. If you know yourself better than anybody, and you know that you're slacking, and you know that you're not living up to your full capacity, right? Your capacity, full capabilities, right? What is stopping you from doing so? What is stopping you from excelling in your life? I feel like sometimes we get so complacent or so comfortable with how our lives have always gone. We want better. One day I'm going to talk about it. Uh, don't say stop being sorry and do better. That's going to be stop saying sorry and do better. We want better. We hope, pray, wish, believe for better, but we don't take the steps towards better. Are you okay? Are you okay with waking up every day, hating the job that you love, hating the job that you go to, but not being able to do your passion. Are you okay with that? Being too tired. Oh, I'm so tired. I've been at work all day. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with being in a situation where you're not, your love language isn't being addressed? Are you okay with that? Or if you've been in a relationship for a long time, are you okay with the fact that you may never get married? I know that sounds weird, but you may never get married. Even if you're not in a relationship and you're thinking about um, one day I'll be married. What if you never get married? What if you're Prince Charming or your Princess Charming? What if they never come? Will you be okay? Will you be okay? Will you still find your way through life? Will you still be able to say, you know what? When you get ready to go to sleep, I accomplished everything I set out to do in life? Or would you be like, man, I wish I had? I used to hear the older people talk about shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And I said to myself, I'm not going to have no shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I'm not going to have any regret. Anything that happened to me, anything that I did, it was a learning process. And I am, right now, today, I can say that I'm grateful for stuttering. I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for every loss. I'm grateful for every heartache. I'm grateful for every blessing. I'm grateful for everything because I would not be the person that I am right now today without it. If I hadn't started a journey of healing and self discovery, I would not have been able to say, to actually recognize when I am not okay. A lot of times we walk around and have people asking us, are we okay? Or we know that we're not okay. We know that we're not okay. We know. I know, you know, we know that we're not okay, but we still walk around. Who's going to care? Nobody's going to listen to me anyways. It's like we all survived a global fucking pandemic, right? If at this time, I'll tell y'all what I was thinking, what I've been thinking since the start of the pandemic. If I don't come out of everything that I've been through with a hunger, with a fight to be successful, and I don't mean successful in like having millions of dollars or anything like that. I mean accomplishing the goals that I set out to do years ago. If I don't have come out with the fight or anything towards that, what was it all for? Like, what was it all for? Like, what was everything I experienced in life? What was it for? Like, if like right now, I'm fighting to provide the education to music artists so that they know the music industry is not your friend. Your producer is not your friend. Your songwriters are not your friend. It's a business. Put the business first and everything else after that. Like, if I'm doing that every day, day in and day out, and then I just decide, okay, I'm not going to do it. What was it all for? Not that I'm not going to do it anymore, but I passed away. Like, what is it all for? Who have I helped? What have I actually done? Like, that's what I think about for myself. It's like, I have all of this knowledge, I have all of this skill. What am I doing to like put it back out into the universe? Who am I helping? Am I just grabbing all of this stuff and keeping it for myself? It's like I can't take it with me. When the good Lord decided my time is up, like I can't take any of this. I can't take these headphones, this microphone. I can't take y'all with me. I can't take anything with me. But what I can leave is a lasting memory of an experience with me. I can leave knowledge. I can leave information. I can leave resources. And for me, I learned when you're talking to people, if you really don't care how they're doing, don't ask them how they're doing because you really don't care. You just it's like you just want to hear words. You don't want it to be an awkward silence. You just want to hear words. When in reality, if I be asking people, I don't be like, "Hey, are you okay?" Because if you know people, right? If you actually know people, like the people you be around, if you actually know them, you know when something isn't right with them. You know. If you pay attention, you know when people that are around you, you know when something is wrong. That's why when people be like, I don't know, I didn't know anything was wrong. I didn't know. Now, granted, I know people don't be paying that much attention to other people, but the reality of it is we should be, especially parents. I'm gonna talk to you for a few minutes. Parents, are you okay? I give y'all kudos. I don't have kids, but I give y'all kudos because um, it takes a lot. It takes a lot, especially if you are a young parent. You know, you have all these hopes, dreams, and aspirations, and then you have a child, and like your dreams are kind of deferred a little bit because now you have to take care of another human being for the next 20, for the rest of their life. I was going to put an age on it. Nope, for the rest of their life. Because whether you believe it, you're, oh, they're out of the house, but the reality of it is they'll always be back unless the household was toxic, then they won't come back. They won't. But will you be okay with that? If your child grows up and they don't speak to you, will you be okay with that? What if your child say, "Hey, I want to sit down and have a conversation with you," and they tell you their perspective of how they grew up? Will you be okay with that? Or will you try to say, "Oh, well, I did the best that I can. I gave up so much of myself. I worked hard. I did all this." Or would you listen to what they're saying? I want to say, I want to take this moment. I'm grateful for my parents who took the opportunity, who listened to me, heard what I said, responded, and even acknowledged. It was a lot of acknowledgement that happened um, with speaking to my parents. Because whether you believe it or not, you're a parent. You probably have parents. I'm pretty sure you have parents. But our experiences are different. Like I have three siblings, right? And each one of our experiences with our parents are different. I'm the oldest, so mine's is definitely the most different. But each one of us have a different experience. There's this long standing debate like parents have a favorite child, and most parents will be like, "No, I don't have a favorite. I love all of my kids the same." But the reality of it is there is a favorite. Sometimes there's more than one. Depending on how many kids there are, sometimes there's more than one. There's a favorite, there's a black sheep, there's a young one that just get away with anything. There's a lot of favoritism, especially when you have kids. But will you be okay if they was like, "I had a fucked up childhood"? Will you be okay? I continuously, I will forever, as long as I have breath in my body, and I probably, even when I don't have breath in my body, is gonna live out here in social media where I wish that people would go to therapy. And people like, I'm not going to therapy because I'm giving it to Jesus, Buddha, Allah, whoever your deity is. That's no excuse for you not to go to therapy. You pushing us to go to therapy. I'm pushing people to get help. There's so many people out here who are currently dealing with childhood issues, but they don't they don't wouldn't know that they're dealing with childhood issues because I'm an adult. I make decisions for myself. I'm grown. I'm grown. I remember I was like, as soon as I said that, I was like, I'm grown. And I thought to myself, it's like, I waited all this time to say I'm grown. And I wish that my mother had enough room in her house so I can go live with her. To be paying rent, light, heat, cable, food. But they don't tell you, like, they don't tell you all that. Like where you're growing up, they don't tell you that. If you are a child and you're listening to this, if you are a teenager or if you're at home with your parents, kudos to you. Stay there as long as you can. So what? Your parents ask you for a couple of dollars for rent. Listen, rent nowadays. I remember when I first moved out, it was like four something. Ooh, rent nowadays is nine plus. I'm looking at new locations or looking at a new place to live. These people said $1,200 first month, last month, and a security deposit. I said, I'm not rich. That's what I said. I'm not rich yet. I said, I'm not rich yet. But it was like, I'm not about to pay that to live up in here. When I'm thinking of $1,200, I'm thinking of like high ceilings, crown molding. I'm not thinking of a radiator. I don't think of a radiator. I think of uh what is it called? Like in the in-house air conditioner where you don't have to put an air conditioner in window, but it's like the house has air conditioner. I'm thinking about all of that balcony. I'm thinking about all that, not no radiator. Do y'all know how old a radiator is? And I'm looking at the area like it's a no for me. No, that's here where I'm looking, and then I'm looking at other states, and I'm like, wait, for the amount they want for a two-bedroom here, I could go somewhere else and get a whole house, and it's looking real sweet to move right now. It's looking real sweet, real sweet. And so I'm talking to my family because I'm like, I just my family is here, so I'm like, I it's just me. It's just me. And if I decide that I want to leave, I wouldn't have anything to like my job. I can literally do anywhere as long as there's internet. I can literally do it anywhere. And it's just me. And it was like, would you be okay with that? And I feel like right now, before it was like I was running, I was tired of being in a trauma induced state. But I was tired of like facing my traumas every day. And then that's when I decided to go on a journey of healing and self discovery. Like, you know what? I'm sick of it. I'm sick of not reaching my full potential because I don't feel like I can. I'm sick of not reaching my full potential because I'm afraid. I'm sick of um, sitting on my talents. I'm sick of sitting on my gifts. And I'm sick of watching people half ass shit that I know that I want to do and I would do it wholeheartedly. You know? Like maybe you see somebody doing a beauty channel on YouTube, right? And you like, oh, she don't rub her blush. I don't even know, but she don't even rub her blush in, or that's mismatch. Why don't you start a YouTube? I wrote a song so many years ago, and I was like, imagine seeing somebody doing the thing that you're supposed to do. You ever had this idea in your head? It's like, oh yeah, when I get the money or when I'm gonna do that. And you see somebody else do it, or you tell somebody and then they do it, and you be like, I just told you I want to do that. Now you doing it. That's why I started keeping things to myself, and then I just started working, putting my head down and work. What do I need to get here? That's why I went to the event yesterday because a lot of people haven't embraced Chat GPT, but I'm gonna tell you like this: I knew going into the event yesterday, I knew that I was going to be shown how to utilize it to benefit my company. I knew that. I knew it going in. I knew that. And when I tell you, I walked out of there, it was people telling me how to set up prompts, how to do. They showed me so much stuff. Excuse me. They showed me so much stuff. And I was just like, oh, this is going to change the game. This is Chat GPT is going to change the game. I saw I saw a news article where they said they were going back to look at students' papers that they were submitted. Chat GPT changes the game. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I asked myself literally this week. I asked myself, "Are you okay?" And I couldn't. I'm not one of those people that lied to myself and be like, "Girl, yeah, I'm good." No, I'm not okay. I know that I could be doing more. What do I need to do more? Are you okay? No. Why aren't you okay? I am not okay because I could do more in the area of educating music artists. How can you do more? Providing music business seminars. I could finish my ebook. I could start creating content surrounding the music business. Like I went down a list of things. Like I just was like, "Are you okay, girl? Yeah, I'm okay." No, I really went down and asked myself, and then I said to myself, like, "Listen, we didn't survive COVID. We didn't survive 11-1 trauma surgery just to be twiddling my fingers. I didn't do that. Like that's not me. Like I have hopes, dreams, and aspirations. I went to the Patty. I told everybody. I've been telling everybody since Patti LaBelle first was coming here. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to the Patti LaBelle concert. People was like, did you buy a ticket? Nope. But I'm going to the Patti LaBelle concert. And so yesterday, or actually it was Monday, I found out that she was going to be here yesterday. And so I was like, I'm currently in between situations right now. But I'm going to this Patti LaBelle concert. Actually, Friday while I was taking my brother to work, I said, "Bro, I'm going to the Patti LaBelle concert tomorrow." And so I had the idea, because the last time she came here, they someone someone called in a bomb threat to the Patti LaBelle concert. Why Patti LaBelle out of all people? I don't know. So they had to rush her off the stage or whatever, and so they she was scheduled to come back in August, but then I guess a miracle happened. She was here yesterday, and so I put on my status on Friday. It was like, hey, if anybody have tickets from the previous one and you can't make the show tomorrow, I'll take them up off your hands because I love Patti LaBelle. And so my friend, a couple of my friends was like, hey, did you get a ticket yet? And before I could respond, my friend, one of my other friends, said, check your email. And I checked my email. I had a ticket to the Patti LaBelle concert in my email. I'm looking at the ticket like, man, that is so dope. Like I was literally not okay. I was not okay yesterday. I cried so just thinking about my community and the people that I surround myself with right now. I was at When I was at the networking event yesterday, they was saying like you are a product of the 5 people you surround yourself with, and I thought about the people that I'm surrounded by, and I'm like I'm grateful, not because not because they brought me a Patti LaBelle ticket, but it was the conversation that led up to the Patti LaBelle ticket. It was the conversation after the Patti LaBelle ticket. It was been the conversation in this entire year. Like, you ever been at a point where it was just like, what more can I do? Am I actually helping? Um, I've been putting my head down and just working. Like I really couldn't leave out the house. I couldn't do anything, and then it was just like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I've been sitting in here for too long. I've been active on social, like other live platforms, but I haven't really been outside. And so I said, when I come into 2023, long as I'm feeling up to it, long as I feel good, I'm going to get out. And so every moment that I have been outside has been an amazing moment for me. I went to the Patti LaBelle concert. I literally cannot put it into words what it was for, what it felt like. I've been telling people, so how was the Patti LaBelle concert? It was amazing. It was wonderful. It was life changing. It was necessary. It was insert every word that you could possibly insert that was positive and inspiring and empowering. It was everything for me. I needed to go to that concert. And not just because it was Patti LaBelle, but I needed, it was something, the thing that happened to me while I'm sitting at the Patti LaBelle concert. And I'm like, I kind of manifested, not kind of, I manifested being here. Not only did I manifest being here, I've been inquiring on how I could be like a photojournalist, like take pictures at the concerts and like write about people, right? And so I'm sitting at the concert enjoying. When I tell you, I cried a while. I tried to, I got video. So I tried to keep my eyes clear. So as I'm recording, it wasn't shaky. You know how when you be crying, like you emotional, your hands be, yeah, I tried to like pull it together. But I'm watching the show, and then a photographer lady comes and she sit next to me. And she was like, "Do you know the name of that song?" So I'm telling her the name of the song. And she's like, "I've been wanting to be here since I was a little girl." I said, "Oh my God, me too." And then she's like, so I told her, like, I put this on my Facebook status, and I was like, my friend bought me a ticket. And she was like, "Really?" And I showed her, and she was like, "Oh my God, you have a great friend circle." And I was like, "I know." And so we're talking, and I was like, "You know what? How did you get into doing what you do?" And she was like, "Well, she started working for a magazine." She's like, "I don't get paid." That she quickly said, "I don't get paid." But I was like, for me, that would just be the greatest job. Like the greatest job. Not just because you can go to concerts for free, but just like taking a still moment of the artist, the band, the background singers, just you're capturing a moment in time. I don't know lately, I'll say since COVID, like I've been um real heightened when it comes to like time and energy and legacy and like what am I leaving here? I don't know what that's about, but that's where I am right now. Like, am I doing enough? I had a couple of conversations last week, and this week is going to be even more intense because I said to myself, I want to be here. Here. Not, I mean, I'm here, but I want to be at this point by this certain date. And I am getting close to there, and I'm getting close to where I want to be. And so I'm just like, I got to go into overdrive because by December 2023, I plan to be able to travel and have my business established. And I'm just going to spend the rest of this year enjoying myself. I said, I'm working hard the first 6 months, and then everything else is going to be automated, and then I'm traveling for the rest of the year. I spent an entire year and a half in the house. I'm ready to get outside. I'm ready to go to the beach, put my toes in the sand. I'm ready to get on a boat and go into the middle of the water and just listen. Just listen. That's all. I don't even have to get off the boat for excursions. Just be on the water. I'm ready. I'm ready to do that. I'm ready to go out the country. I am so ready. Funny thing, I said I wanted to go to London, right? And so I'm in this music industry community, and so every time I check my email, before it was like, oh, you could be a royalty specialist or a licensing specialist, right? And it was all for like the United States remote jobs, right? And then as soon as I said, I want to go to London, like I said it out loud. Next thing I know, I go to my email and it's like, here's jobs in London. You could be a senior A&R representative. It's like got all these jobs. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Maybe you're trying to tell me something. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. I said to myself yesterday, after while I was at the Patti LaBelle concert, I said, I wanted to go to the Patti LaBelle concert because for me, she's 78, about to be 79, right? Her career has been amazing. It has transcended music. It has transcended performance. It's in our kitchens. Like her career took on so many different levels, and people like we call her like Aunt Patty, or you call her, you gave her a term of endearment, right? And she's like, next week she's going to be 79. She's been able to sustain a career for 79 years. And because what I do with my everyday job, like that's what I want to do. That's what I want to help. That's how I want to help music artists to be able to sustain a career for 79 years. And not even just 79 years. Like, I have the ideas to set them up where, in the event that their life is no longer here, their kids' kids and their kids' kids and all of their generations, generational wealth will be set up from the music. And so I'm sitting there and I'm crying and I'm just like, I needed to be here because I know that this is possible. I know that this is possible. And I'm looking at Patti LaBelle on the stage and I'm like, it's possible. 79 years old and still killing. When I say she killed that stage, she killing it. So we leave out, that is the end of the show. Well, wait, while I'm there, so I host a bi-monthly concert series and I have a live band and I find artists, I listen to their music and I'm like, oh, I can envision you with a live band. I feel like you can elevate what you're doing with a live band. So I stay to the end of the show, and while they're breaking down the instruments or whatever, and they're just cleaning up, and I'm just looking at the stage like, one day that'll be me. Not me performing on the stage, but one day I'm going to um, put together a production where it will be in a Riverside Theater or the Pabst Theater. It will be in a theater, and people will come and watch it. And so I go outside, and I just happen to cause I'm a Patti LaBelle fan. I've been following Patti LaBelle, her band members, music director, everybody, right? And so I saw one of the people in her one of her people in her camp, and I was like, "Hi, how are you?" And he was like, "Hi, how are you?" I was like, "I've been following you for so long." He was like, "You have?" And so we were just talking. He was like, "Where did you sit?" Now let me tell y'all about my ticket, right? So I was just happy to be wherever, as long as I was in the building. I didn't even care. I was gonna see Patti LaBelle. That was it. My friend bought me tickets where I was literally like 10 rows from the stage. I was 10 rows from the stage, and when I tell you the view, like I literally saw her like kick her shoe off, and people like when I tell y'all people leaped the people was leaping to catch her shoes, like leap, not low jumped, I mean like leaping. So the when I tell y'all our people, we was dressed to the tens, honey. Dressed, you saw furs, minks, chinchillas, glitter, sequins. It was sheer. It was everything. I felt so at home there. I felt so at home. It was an experience. So I'm talking to her guy. He's like, any live music, and I was like, I should know this, but I didn't, because I was so like in the moment, and so I was like, yeah, well, we downtown, so it's definitely something down here, and so while I was in there, I'm, just being me, talking to people, just being me, and so I'm done talking to him, and I turned and it was an artist that I work with, and she was there, and I was like, "Oh my god, how you doing?" Like I had just commented on her thing, on her post, because she's doing content. I was like, "Oh my god," and so um, we started talking, and then she was like, "I've been meaning to ask you, why do you do what you do?" And this was my response. In my 42 years of living, I've accomplished everything that I ever set out to do. And from this moment forward, I will pay it forward, and I will give knowledge. I will give resources, of course, for a nominal fee because I do have a business. But I will share, and I will push other people to greatness. I'll be joking with young people, and I'll be like, you need to surround yourself with older people, like older people that like you can listen, like you can learn from, like you can glean, is what they used to say back in my days. You can glean from. I will forever be grateful for my committee, my advisory board is what I'm going to call them. I will forever be grateful for them because they pushed me to greatness. I remember I had a vocal teacher. back in college. And that man, this man, Mark, his name is Mark Plummer. I used to be so like, why does this man keep picking on me? You know, like when people are doing saying stuff to you, like, man, why they keep picking on me? Why you keep saying stuff to me though? Like, it's a whole group of people, it's a whole class. Why you keep saying stuff to me though? And then one day, just asked him like, what's going on? And he's like, you're not giving everything you got. And I was like, for what? Like, y'all don't even get like. I've had this thing. I had this thing, and I'm going. I'm pretty sure I'm going to cry in this moment. But I had this thing, right? I grew up in the hood, and I went to predominantly white schools, right? So I had this thing where I didn't realize it was a thing until I was in college, and it was like, I don't want to be the token black person. I don't want to be. I don't want to be that, and not because of anything other than I don't want to be like it's 2023. I shouldn't have to be that. But at that time, it was like the early 2000s, and so I'm like, I'm the only black person here that's doing music. And I feel like every time I do something, it's like, no, you could do it better. And it's like, I'm not saying you could do it better because he's saying, he's like, I'm pushing you because no one, I could tell no one has ever pushed you. And I was like, you don't know me. The reality of it is no one has ever pushed me. I when I had the conversation with him, I went back to my advisory board and I said, "How come you guys don't push me? Like, how come you guys don't like tell me no? Like, how come you guys don't like?" And so then they started to break it down to me, and it was like, "Cause you got it," and I was like, "But I don't have it right now. Like, I do, I know I got it, but I mean, like." People who have it need a push too. That's like when people be like, check on your, like now everybody is starting to say, check on your strong friends. You should have been checking on them. You, strong people get weak too. That's just like somebody said, if you're always going to your pastors or your priest or your rabbi, who do they go to? They have to have people above them that they go to, right? From that moment forth, my advisors were on me, my teachers, professors was on me. And when it came time for me to do my senior recital, I went to that professor and I was like, they won't let me do urban music. And he's like, they won't let you do, or. And so I petitioned. Listen, y'all, when I think back to my college years, when I think back to my life, right? When you're in a much clearer space, you see it differently. You know, the hindsight is always 2020. But looking back in my life, I saw so many times where I was just like, I'm okay, but I completely was not okay. How you doing? Girl, I'm good. Not good. Not good. If I have learned anything since COVID is to speak your mind. I'm saying how I always say, use your words. We might be hanging with people for 15, 20, 30 years, be in a relationship with people for 15, 75. We ain't even been alive that long, but being in relationships with people for decades. And we feel like, oh, they should know. They know. They know how I feel. They know what I think. They know what I like. They know what I don't like. But at this juncture in life, you should start communicating more. I saw a post where it said you got to start setting boundaries with your family. And I was like, and do, and do. Right now, if you are not thinking about how you are, if you are okay, how you are navigating life, if you're not thinking about that, you should. You should. When I was at the networking event, the lady said, I don't know if it's because I'm getting closer to 50, but she said, I don't give a fuck about anything anymore. And I was like, honey, I had that in my 30s. But when I crossed over in 40, it was like, ooh, this is a whole different kind of, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. You be caring like in your 20s, you be caring about if your shirt and your shoes match. You be caring about all kinds of stuff you care about. I ain't gonna say I don't care about like looking good or anything like that, because I do. I do like to look nice. I switched my style up a little bit. That's a whole nother thing. But I don't care about a lot of things. Your opinion. I don't care. It's not gonna feed, clothe, and shelter. I'm gonna tell y'all what my mother told me decades ago when I was younger. She said, if what people say don't pay your bills, feed you, put a roof over your head, or clothing on your back, it doesn't matter. And from that moment she said that until now, it doesn't even matter. The most important thing I found out in my life on this journey of healing and self discovery is the person that I wanted love from the most was myself. And having said that, I'm gonna ask you, are you okay? Do you love yourself? You ever, excuse me, you ever had somebody ask you that question and you be like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Of course I love myself. Of course. Let me ask you this question. When you're tired, do you lay down or do you just like try to fight the sleep? When your stomach says you're full, do you continue eating or do you just be like, when you know the situation is toxic, do you continue on thinking that one day the person will change or do you leave? Do you know that your job doesn't appreciate you, but you continue on like one day they're going to give you a raise, but in reality you know that they're not? When your friend calls you and asks you could they borrow some money and you say, I just gave you money last month, and they tell you they're going to pay you back and they don't pay you back, do you continue on lending money? Or do you realize like I am now a bank for this person? Like, have you ever set a boundary in your life? I will be honest, before 3 years ago, I didn't. Because I was trying to make sure everybody was good. I wanted to make sure everybody was good. Everybody had what they needed. Nobody went without. And then reality set in for me. It was like, it's a no for me. Just like when you are surrounded by so many people and then like, you like, I need to do better for me. I need to look out for me. And you start focusing on you. And then you see people start dropping off. And then it's like, wait a minute, we've been friends for so long, and it's like, nah, it's a no. When I went, when I was in recovery, I had to step back from friendships. I had to step back from situationships, and it was just like, even working with certain artists, I had to step back. Especially, I started paying more attention to energy. If it doesn't feel good for me, I leave it. I unfortunately, this is not going to work. I will refer you to here some of my associates. Um, I am not interested in any, partaking any further. I got real good at the language because the most important thing to me right now is my peace. Once you have peace, I don't know how you leave peace to go back to toxicity. It's a no for me. I don't want to go anywhere or do anything. I would literally sit in my house before I go somewhere or allow anybody to interrupt my peace. It's a no for me. Once you find it. If you've been going through so many incidents in your life, right? And you know how people be like, they got a hard head, they're going to learn one day. I don't want to have a hard head where that one day coming, I have to learn. I want to learn. Like, I was the type to learn from other people's experiences. I didn't have to do drugs to realize the effects of them. No. I know I don't want to do that. Like, even with drinking, I don't want to be drunk where I'm crying everywhere or all over people or using the bathroom with myself or throwing up. I hate throwing up when I'm sick. You think I want to? This or no for me. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to keep walking around as a 42-year-old woman and saying, "Oh well, my mama didn't love me when I was little, so I'm acting like this because." No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like, man, the last person I was with broke my heart, so I'm going to be out here being a dog. I don't want to do that. Like, at what point in our lives do we grow up? What point? What point do we like stop blaming other people and hold ourselves accountable? That's what I had to do. I never really blamed anybody. I always blamed myself. And I had to hold myself accountable for holding on to other people's. A lot of the things, especially when I was younger, I had no control over those things. If I did, that wouldn't have happened. Wouldn't have happened at all. But I had no control over it. And here I'm walking around carrying the burden of the things that people did to me. And it was like, no, that's not yours to carry. Put it down. I'm going to look at you right now. The shit that happened to you, that's not yours to carry. Put it down. Put it down. Forgive yourself. And keep moving. I'm not going to say move on. I'm going to say keep moving. Because there's this thing where people be like, oh, I'm going to give it to a deity and he going to take it away. But the reality of it is that it's going to always be with you. It's going to always be with you. Even if you get Alzheimer's or dementia, it will always be with you. Your body's going to remember what happened to you. That's why people should go to therapy, so they'll learn the different things of how it affects them, how coping mechanisms are real. They're real. You might not think about it. You ever think about when you get sad and you like to have Ben and Jerry's ice cream? I be hearing people talk about Ben and Jerry's. I don't eat Ben and Jerry's. That's what I eat right here. If you haven't got you some of this ice cream, you should. Don't worry. I got a video coming about it. But I used to think about that. Like, I used to think about when I used to get real stressed. Like, I knew, let me tell you how I knew when I was stressed. I had a wild cherry Pepsi, some 2 Frito-Lay packs of sunflower seeds, and some peanut M&Ms. And don't eat any of that now. I don't drink sodas. I definitely don't have sunflower seeds, and I'm definitely not eating peanut M&Ms because I'm allergic to peanut butter. So, but it's crazy how I can look back now and be like, yeah, I know. Even like now, if things like this last week, I was pitching my business and just talking to tech people and just going in these different spaces, and it's like, you know what? I am finding myself becoming a little bit overwhelmed. So let me step back. Let me step away from the computer, get outside. I hugged a tree. I walked around in the grass with my socks and shoes off. Like, I connected. I really connected. And I came back and sat down in my computer, and everything that I was feeling overwhelmed with, like lined up. And then yesterday I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to this hackathon because it's going to open up my eyes. It's going to open up my eyes. And I went and my eyes were opened. And I said, I'm going to Patti LaBelle. Went to the Patti LaBelle concert. I woke up today. I was like, I'm going to do a puzzle. Did a puzzle. Everything. I'm being more intentional. The most important thing that I realized I lacked my entire life was discipline. I lacked discipline. That's what it was. I'm going to the store and buying 4 or 5 pairs of shoes. I don't need those 4 or 5 pairs of shoes. I only need one. I only got 2 feet. Buying bags. And when I think about it now, it's like, man, I used to have so much. And now every day I wake up, I'm throwing stuff in the garbage, or I'm donating, or I'm giving it away. Because my ultimate goal is to become a minimalist. I really do. So I was telling my family the other day, I was like, I'm on YouTube. I probably shouldn't be watching these things on YouTube, but I was on YouTube. And I really want to do van life. And I'm thinking the end of the year, I just might do it. Because once it deposits in here and in here, it's over. Because that's just how I am. Once it's there, once the two connect, it's over. So I'm like, I really want to do van life. And so I'm like, okay, I don't need this. I definitely don't need this. Like, reduce my clothes. I reduce everything down. Not my shoes. Not my shoes. I'm working. I'm working on the shoes. I'm working on it. Whew, I'm working on it. But I real life like I real life want to do minimalism. Like that's what I do. Like I got all this stuff in here, like all of my music equipment and stuff. But other than that, minimalism is where I'm going. It's just me. It's just me. I'm like, yeah, I need a 2, 3 bedroom house, but I was like, for what? It's just me. So I'm on YouTube. I saw this guy. He converted his Yukon truck into um, a stealth mobile home or van lifer thing, whatever. And I was like, oh my god, I could do that. I could literally do that. But I first, I gotta try it out and see. I gotta try. So the end of the year, you guys will be on the journey with me because I'm definitely going to try it. I'm gonna still have my place, maybe. I don't know, but I'm definitely hopping into that van life though. I feel like that would better suit me. The crazy thing is, because before the pandemic, that's where I was like going. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm looking at Sprinter vans. I'm looking at Dodge got a really nice one, and then there's a guy. I forgot his name. He builds them out, and so I was like, you know what? I could probably have my brothers build them out, or I could just drive it. I don't know. I'm still figuring it all out, y'all. But that's really what I want to do. I want to travel. I'm ready to just like get out the house. And I honestly feel like if I go somewhere and I come back and I'll be like, okay, cool, I could do it. But I haven't been out the house in a whole year and a half. I'm ready. So when I ask myself, am I okay? No, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go somewhere. I really want to go to the mountains of Colorado or the Niagara Falls. I want to go somewhere that's like earth, like I'm being drawn to the ocean, to the beach. I want to go somewhere where there's water and nature. I even got in the morning. I'll be getting my fishing license. I'm super excited about that because then like I want to go fishing. Let me say, I do want to go fishing, but I don't really want to fish. Like I just want to go and sit on the bank. Well, why don't you go do that now? Because what if I, toss a rod and then a fish get on there? I don't know. I feel like that is so peaceful and serene. So y'all will see a lot of me fishing or sitting on banks, um, in the next month or so. Um, I'm super happy. I'm okay. Now, when I ask myself, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. This week, I was a little like, I need to figure it out. That's literally all. Are you okay? Someone in the business world asked me, am I okay? I said, I need to figure it out. Can you help me? That's when I tell you, when you get out of your own way, you have to get out of your own way. You have to. I had this thing with asking people for help because I'm like, I could do it. I mean, I could do it. And you know what it was? A fear of disappointment. I've been disappointed so much in my life where it's like, I'm going to avoid disappointment if I don't necessarily have to have it. So I wouldn't ask people. I would just do it. And if wasn't able to get it or wasn't able to do it, it was like, well, I guess I didn't need to do it. That was so I went to an event on Monday and I was like, I need help. And then the guy was like, well, schedule a time with me. And so I sat down and I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I have. And he's like, wait a minute, you had this entire time. Why haven't you showed anybody? I was like, because I didn't think to show anybody. I just had it and was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to use. Right. And so he's like, no, you need to do this. And then, so he's gave me a list of things, homework to do. Then I went to the chat GBT, blew my mind, gave me all the necessary tools I need to have. And then one of the guys was like, don't be afraid to ask. Now this guy he has created so many startups and sold them for whew. That's all I'm going to say. Whew. And so he's like, you know what? I'm going to help you. He said, I'm not going to, like he said, I'm helping you to pay it forward. And he said, because it's going to help me dust my skills off too. And I was like, what? He said, yeah, don't be afraid to ask. If you have a question, don't be afraid to ask. And in that moment, I knew that I was in the right spot because I had just said to myself, I cannot do this by myself. So I'm going to ask the people who have already traveled down the road that I am going, that are currently in the space where I want to be. I'm going to ask. And if you don't help me, somebody else will. So I'm going to say to you, I'm going to ask you, are you okay? If you are not okay, seek help. Seek help in the form of therapy. Seek help in the form of someone that you can talk to that, let me go. Don't worry about people judging you. And I know that's kind of tough to be saying because people are going to judge you regardless. Regardless of if you're fear of people judging you, people are judging you right now. People, that's what people do. I'm not saying that it's right, but that's what people do. They judge. We all judge. I judge. I do judge. I knew going in yesterday, I knew I was going to get everything I need. I judge. If I feel like the situation is not going to go the way I want it to go, oh, I'm definitely, yeah. Somebody call me and you get that energy. It's the energy. You get that energy. It's like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I got to protect. Got to protect. You got to protect. You definitely should protect and be mindful of the things that come out of your mouth. Got to protect that. I learned this in the last 3 years. Like, you got to protect all of that. You got to be mindful of what you say. That's why I say I'm going to be light, love, and positivity. And if I have nothing good to say, I won't say anything at all. I will be silent. I would rather be silent than to say something that could damage you, than say something that could harm you, that could send negative energy your way. I would rather be silent. Did that happen overnight? No. But once you learn something, you learn it. And I got good at it. I'm really, really good at it. Really good at it. But at the same time, I don't take no shit. It's a no. We survived a global fucking pandemic. You think I'm about to let you just be out here? No. Somebody needs to tell you to go to therapy. Somebody needs to tell you to sit down. Somebody needs to call out the bullshit that you're doing. Especially once you pass that 25 mark. Once you pass the 25 mark, because you're about to be 30. And like you're going to blink your eyes twice. Not literally, but figuratively. You're going to blink your eyes twice and you're going to be 30. Somebody should be telling you. If you don't got people in your circle around you telling you about yourself, I know you're grown. You can't tell me nothing I don't know about me. This is where I say you got to have people around you that's going to tell you about yourself, right? Because for me, if somebody could tell me about something that I do and that I know I should be doing, oh, that's like, yeah, you really need to step your game up. You definitely do. I knew that I was a procrastinator, but when somebody called me out on being a procrastinator, I was like, you're right. And I need to stop procrastinating. And ever since then, I be ahead of time. I knew I was a procrastinator the entire time. No one has ever called me out on it. Is that giving people permission? Yes. So I be telling people I have a whole accountability partner. I let her know, hey, I need to have this done by this day. Do you not know? Y'all, she be on me. She be on me. My mentor be on me. On me. And I appreciate that. Nobody has ever been on me before because it's like, oh, you got it. You good. We know you know what you're doing. I still need people to be like, hey, did you submit that? Hey, did you meet that deadline? Hey, did you do that? I'm going to meet it. I'm definitely going to meet it. But did you? Holding me accountable. Accountability. That's something a lot of people lack nowadays. Accountability. I hold myself responsible for a lot of things. I hold myself responsible for my nieces and nephews being spoiled. I would have never admitted that before this year, but they are. And I hold myself accountable because I love them so much. I don't have kids, so I can spoil them and love them and send them home with their wonderful parents. My nephew, he's asked me every day. Every time he come with me, I take him to the store, and I don't be purposely. I don't think I think I unconsciously just buy him toys every time. So every time he gets in my truck, he say, "Tita, we going to the store and get toys." He really want this Mario doll. They didn't have it the last time we went, and I told him I was going to get it for him because he wanted the Mario. I bought him the Luigi, but he wanted the Mario. So now he's like, "Yeah." And the last time we went to the store, I bought him Miles Morales. Is that his name? The new Spider-Man. And now he thinks I'm going to get him the bigger one. So it's like, I don't know. I enjoy spending time with my family. I enjoy spending time with the people that love me. I enjoy being able to use my words and tell them how I feel and what I think. And they listen sometimes. My younger brother, we getting there. I'm not going to do him like that. He's listening. Because, he's like 2 minutes from 30. So I don't know what happened when people get to that, like 2 minutes from 30. It's like, yeah, I got to start taking my life serious. I was taking my life serious at 25. Actually, before that, 18, I was really taking my life serious because I almost died. So after that, I was like, yeah, I'm going to live my best life. And then when I hit 40, it was like, oh, I'm living my bestest life. My bestest life. Bestest. I'm not taking shit from nobody. I'm not hanging around people I don't have to hang around. I'm not, your energy is not, you're not going to forecast your energy on me. It's a no. I don't care who you are, friends, family, whoever you are. If it doesn't align with me, it's a no. Business, if it doesn't align with me, it's a no. And I'm going to be real. I've been so vocal in these last 3 years. I've been enjoying every moment of it. Speaking up. Usually I would just be like, yeah, okay, yeah, all right. I won't say nothing, just let stuff go. But the reality of it is if we continue to do that, people think that it's okay. If people call you out your name or talk about you or treat you bad, they start to think that that's okay to do because you don't say anything back. I'm not the only one who lacks discipline. A lot of people lack discipline. I'm not the only one that wasn't holding myself accountable. A lot of people do. A lot of adults, 40, 20, 30, 35. A lot of people, 30 and up, still walking around here blaming their parents for why they right now today cannot function in society. It's a lot of us. And I threw myself in there because I was blaming somebody. I was blaming myself. I was gonna say somebody. I was blaming myself. Oh, I shouldn't have let that happen to me. But I didn't have no control over that. I didn't have any control over that. And that's when I went to therapy and it was like, that's not yours. People need to be told to put that down. That's not yours. Your parents treating you bad, that's not yours. That's their problems. That's their issues. Yes, it affected you. They disappointed you. They let you down. Maybe they physically harmed you. That's their problems. You've been held back for too long. Are you okay? If you are not okay, get help. Don't smoke it away. Don't drink it away. Don't sex it away. Don't shop it away. Don't eat it away. Just get help. I was telling somebody this week, I told one of my friends, I was like, I know exactly what it is that I want to do. And when I'm talking to the people that I'm helping the most, they get it. But everybody else outside of them, they don't get it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep talking to the people that get it. And I'm going to go and I'm going to partner with other people who get what I'm trying to do. And I'm going to take over. I'm going to take over. Take over. It's a strong takeover. And what do I mean by takeover? I mean, I'm going to be so in people's face where it's like you have no other option but to say, what do you want? What do you want? Every time I turn around, somebody's mentioning your name and talking about music administration. What is it? How is it that I can help you? That's what they're going to say to me. How is it that I can help you? And I already got my wish list. You can help me buy. Like when Santa Claus, you got to have a wish list. I be having a wish list. I have a wish list for radio stations. I have a wish list for media companies. I have a wish list for everybody. How can you help me? Here's how you can help me. YouTube. Want to know how you can help me? Here's how you can help me. You can like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified the next time that I go live, or just upload another video. Share the podcast with somebody else. If this is not your cup of tea, share it with somebody who you think will like it. Share it. Starting next month, I will be doing audio. So I'm working on getting all of the audio from the podcast downloaded and uploaded to the audio platform. So yeah, I'm going doing bigger things. I was hoping for a different location, a different setup, and I'm not going to give up hope on that because I'm going to have it. I will have it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It shall happen. I shall have a different setup. But today's question was, are you okay? If you're not okay, get help. And I don't mean help in the form of a bottle or drinking. And if you feel like that's judging you, maybe you need to feel like that because it's time for you to get help. If you've been walking around and you know that you are not your normal self, get help. Get help. Go to therapy. Get help. If you are someone who attends a religious organization or are part of a religious organization and you're like, I can't go to therapy because I give it to Jesus, God, Buddha, Allah, whoever it is that you serve, you can go to therapy too. They're like, that's a perfect marriage. A deity and therapy. You're balanced. I know many people don't want to go to therapy because it's like then people gonna judge me. They're gonna be all up in my head. At this point, at this juncture in the road, who gives a fuck? I think the most important thing that you should be worried about right now is being whole. If you are a parent and you are still struggling with your childhood and how your mother treated you and how she chose the other one over you, get help. Because what you don't realize is that you are indirectly passing those things on to your kids. Indirectly. As if they don't already have enough to deal with. If you are a parent, pay attention to your kids, teenagers, young adults, especially in these last 3 years because life just isn't the same. And we know a lot of people. We know a lot of people that aren't the same. We know a lot of people that are struggling. I be reaching out to people, and the one thing that people do now is like, oh, I'm okay. When in reality, you hurting. I'm not telling you to tell me you hurting. I would prefer that you tell me that so I can ask you what's going on. But find somebody you can talk to. I know for me, talking helps. Talking is a release for me. Some people crying is a release. You ever went to one of those bust it up, break it up, where you can smash things? Maybe that'll work for you. Get it out. Because what we're not taught is that our body stores trauma. So if we got it going, 90 miles an hour, it's keep replaying in our mind. Now it's going to start replaying in our bodies, and then there's going to be like sickness. We survived a global fucking pandemic. Aren't you tired of sickness? Y'all notice that people aren't really talking about the pandemic anymore? The vaccine regulations has been like you don't really hear about it, right? It is not gone. It's still out there. And if you pay attention to the history, if you know history, if you know the Spanish flu, you know that there was several waves of it. I'm not saying there's going to be several ways, but what I am saying is like there's a lot of calmness when we're talking about it now. Like it just came and just left. It's gone. It's like a thing of the past, but we really are. Like we be outside, masked up, still masked up. But we don't talk about it a lot. Have you all even heard about the train derailment that happened a couple of months ago up in Ohio? I think the most amazing thing for me was that there was an actual documentary of it like happening, and then it happened. I feel like there's so much stuff going on in this world, and we are like we like consume with our everyday lives. And I get it, but at the same time, we should be mindful of the things that's going on around us. It's like um, I'm working on a music project, and I have a song, and it's called Sign Language. And I know you're probably thinking about the American Sign Language. I'm talking about sign language because whenever someone like unalives themselves, the first thing that people say is, "I didn't see any signs." They were always smiling. I remember when Twitch, it's like, "Oh, he was always smiling." Sometimes the people who smile the most hurts the most. Sometimes that's what it is. Check on your strong friends. Check on your weak friends. Check on your friends. Don't just check on your friends. Check on your family. Check on your parents, your siblings. Check on everybody. Because y'all remember 3 years ago, we couldn't check on anybody. We were all sitting up in the house together. Couldn't go outside. Couldn't go to work. You had to have a special note to say you could be outside. And then some of our jobs required us to have the vaccine. Y'all remember? That was just 3 years ago. Wasn't like 10, 20. That was literally 3 years ago. Who knows where we're going to be at in these next couple of years? So y'all be paying attention to the news. They're about to implement, I forgot what the new coin system or whatever it is. Y'all should definitely pay attention to the news. That's all I got, though. Are you okay? That's a question I just wanted to ask you. And I'm going to ask you again, are you okay? If you are not okay, tell someone you're not okay. You don't have to hold it in. That's another thing that I realized in my life is that I held a lot of things in. I held a lot of things in. You don't have to hold it in. Let that shit go. Haven't you carried it around long enough? Let it go. A lot of that you're carrying around is not even yours to carry. It's somebody else's, but you just hold on to it because no one told you to put it down. I'm going to tell you, put it down. It's not yours. You ever tell a kid to put something down? Put it down. It's not yours. And this week, I want you to take, this is what I want you to do this week. No, I'm giving y'all homework because I got homework. I want you to write down a list of things that you want to do in the next month. Write down a list. And as this week go by, complete at least 2 or 3 of those things. Every day, ask yourself, are you okay? Am I okay with how my boss is talking to me? Am I okay with how my mother is talking to me? Or am I okay with how my spouse is talking to me? Or my significant other, my boyfriend, girlfriend, baby mama, baby daddy, who, whatever it is. Am I okay with the way they talk to me? Am I okay with the way they treat me? Am I okay with the way that my house is? Am I okay with the way that my car is? Am I okay? Ask yourself that. You should. That's a tough question. Because most people be like, am I okay? Girl, yeah, I'm okay. I'm still smiling. I'm still able to drive. I'm still able to this, but you're not okay though. When I experienced my breakup, people were asking me, am I okay? I said, no, I'm not okay, but I will be okay, but I'm not. It's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay to stay there. If you know that you should be doing better, do better. Don't just keep hoping, wishing, thinking, praying that somebody will push you or will magically go and then you'll be better. No, you got to do the work. The only way you get better is to do the work. You can't want to be a successful basketball player. You're not in the gym shooting, or you're not watching film, or you're not doing the work to be better. Can't want to make millions of dollars off of YouTube, and you don't even have a YouTube channel. You don't even have an intro on your page. I said that because everybody wants to be a YouTuber. Don't get $1,000,000. I was looking at it like I've been on YouTube for like 20 plus years. 20 plus years. I go back and watch my old stuff. It's pretty dope. 20 plus years. I can literally see from when I first uploaded my first YouTube video all the way up until now, the transformation of all of it. And it's so dope. I was telling someone yesterday, they were talking about chat GPT and AI and how it's going to change. And I was like, do y'all remember iRobot? And people was like, wait, why are you talking about iRobot? I said, think about it, right? When the man was like, I think his name was Dr. Bannon. He created Sonny, who was a smart robot, right? And so Um, he allegedly jumped from the window, and then they called Will Smith to come, and then he was searching around, was like, okay, the windows, how did he get out the window if you can't break it with a chair or whatever? And so he found Sonny, and then the guy had a hologram, and he was like, AI is, like, he basically was saying AI is bad. And then a week ago or so, the guy who is over AI came out and was like, it's bad. It's gonna be bad. It's bad. And the first thing I thought was, I thought about iRobot, and I thought about how they was trying to replace everything with the robots, and now AI is like recording, is using Drake and Metro Boomin and The Weeknd, and not even just them. Like, AI is creating songs, and people are like using the songs to get money off of the, like, it's silently taking over. But it's either, are you going to embrace it and figure it out so you'll know how, it works, or are you just gonna be like, no, I'm not with it, and then it's gonna just overtake you before you know it. You're gonna be moved up out the way. The people that's on strike right now, you can go to Chat GPT and say, write a YouTube description for a channel that's going to focus on ASMR, and it will do that for you. When I tell y'all, my mind was blown, and I specifically went because I knew the people that were going to be there, they were going to teach me how to use it the way that they use it. I thought, like, I see like celebrity MUAs, or how, like, I see other people in different things, and I, in my mind, go is, I'm going to learn from the people who are doing what I want to do. I'm going to learn from them. You're going to tell me. You're going to tell me your techniques. You're going to tell me how you do all. You're going to tell me. I'm not going to sit at home and wonder, like, oh my God, I wonder how they do that. You're going to tell me. I'm take your course and you're going to tell me. So I knew when I went to the thing, I knew that they're going to teach me how to use Chat GPT. Like, I really feel like certain communities, mainly people of color, are behind, because they say if you want to hide something from people of color, put it in a book. This young lady likes to read books, documentary, or not documentary. I watch documentaries. I read professional papers. I read thesis. I read everything. And so when I was understanding Chat GPT and how it's going to be utilized in the workforce and how it's going to be utilized in music, and just understanding, it was like, oh yeah, I need to figure out how to use it. And I went, so I was just going for the Chat GPT, but I went, and they were like, you got a website, you're trying to build a website? Yep, use these no code things. If you need this, use this. Here's how you do this. And then it was just like, I'm over here calculating, oh, it's gonna be this amount of money. Now it is gonna be upwards of $100,000. But for the minimum viable product that I need, I could do it all myself. Here I'm thinking I need a whole bunch of money, and boom, it's right there. I could do it. Told me how to do it, what to use, how to integrate it with what I'm already doing. And I'm just sitting over here wrecking my brain like, oh my God, I got to do this. And I went to one networking event, and they showed me everything I need. So after I get off of here, I'm going to put all my to-do list for tomorrow together, and I'm going to play Call of Duty Mobile because I'm already ready for tomorrow. I'm so excited. I got meetings every day this week. Every day. Because my objective is by June, which is in 2 weeks, a week. Oh, I'm going hard. I've already been silently going hard, but I'm going to publicly be going hard in June, mainly because it's my birthday and because I got other things I'm bringing to fruition. So this has been the Nurture Conversations podcast, and the question of the podcast is, are you okay? That's mentally, emotionally, physically, socially, emotionally, financially, all the icklies. Are you okay? And if you are not okay, don't suffer in silence. Don't suffer in silence. You owe it to yourself to be better. If you're a parent, you owe it to yourself to be better for your kids. If you are a husband, you owe it to be better for your family. If you're a wife, you owe it to be better for your family. We just owe it to ourselves to be better, especially surviving a global fucking pandemic for 3 years. You survived. What did you survive for? You survived to twiddle your fingers and hope, dream, and wish. And like, oh yeah, God gonna bless me with a car. You don't know how to drive. You ain't took a driver's test. You don't even have your license. But he just gonna give you a car. He gonna give me a house. You don't even know where you want to live. What kind of house do you want? You want a 2-story, a duplex? Do you want a ranch style? Like what? You don't even know. God gonna bless me with a car. What kind of car do you want? You want a car? You want an SUV? You want it to be electric, or you want it to have gas, or you want it to be a hybrid of both? See, we gotta know all of these things. I feel like sometimes we just be asking for stuff just because we be seeing it, but I got real specific. If that's the word, whatever the word is, I had to get real down to the nitty what I wanted. And I've been real mindful of the things that I put out in the universe, put out in the earth. I be mindful of what I say to people. I have been more stern when I'm talking to people, because it's like if you and I have been talking and you've been saying the same shit for the last 4 years, we gotta change it. We gotta change it. I am even on the path of I've been complaining about the same thing for the last year. You got to do something about it. Either do something about it, or please do not talk to me about it. Man, that's what the reality of it is nobody points out the fact that you've been saying it for the last 4 years. You've been complaining about the same thing for the last 4 years. If nobody tell you you've been complaining about the last 4, maybe you don't know that. Maybe you just be like, hi, Chrissy. Hello. Hello. Maybe you don't know that you've been talking about the same thing for the last 4 years. And maybe you do know, and maybe you just want a pity party. In 2023, surviving a global fucking pandemic, ain't no pity parties over here. Either you are going to put your money where your mouth is and start doing everything that you ever wanted to do in life, or you're going to sit over there on a bench and keep waiting for somebody to come and do it for you. I'm not with that. I'm out here in the mud. I'm tripping. I'm falling. I'm scarring up my ankles, my elbows, my knees. I'm getting to it. That's where I'm getting to it. I said to myself, if I walk into 2023, I'm coming for everything, and I have literally come for everything. Everything. It is not even the 6th month. We're only in the 5th month of 2023, and I have been able to accomplish some things that once before fear stopped me from doing it, but now I'm doing it afraid. Don't let fear stop you. It's all a figure of your imagination. Don't let fear stop you. You want to start a YouTube? Pull out your phone. You don't need a camera. I'm going to tell y'all, I got a webcam. I'm on my computer. I got a webcam that I'm using right now that you see me on, but I will use my phone to do it also. Oh, I most definitely will. Your phone, I got a lamp right here. A lamp and my webcam is what I'm using. And a lamp back there. Yeah, I got a good mic, but that's because, I do a podcast. I told somebody I wanted to do a podcast, and I got a mic. So I'm doing a podcast. If you want to start a podcast, I'll tell you, if you want to start a podcast, you don't have to get it good. You don't have to have a mic. You could use the mic for your phone. It's on your phone. You could use that. You got earbuds. Use those so you can get those things. You got to use what you got so you can get what you want. I'm a do-it-yourselfer. That's what I am. So I'll be utilizing all those things. But that's all I got. Today's conversation was surrounding, are you okay? And I'll just tell people what they want to hear. You survived a global fucking pandemic. Tell them the truth. If you're not okay, tell them you're not okay. Maybe you're hungry, and I know a lot of times people be embarrassed to say that they're hungry. Shit, not me. Pandemic, I was hungry. I just said to somebody, I said, last year I had surgery. I cooked fried cabbage for the first time 2 weeks ago. That was the first time I had to cook in a year. I've eaten, so y'all see I'm a little I'm a little thick. Anyways, that was the first time I cooked for myself in a year. Like the fact that I'm able to be up and out and around is like for me, I'm excited. I know I can't do a lot, so I try to do as much as I can. And then I know when I'm at that point where I'm over stimulated or over whatever, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna go home and chill out. But I'm mindful of that now. Before I be out there like, yeah, I'm almost about to die, but I'm like, yeah, I gotta be out here. No, 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 no. Now I be at the house. Want to see me? I'm at the house. FaceTime me or pull up. That's where I'm at. But I wish you the best. I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. Um, are you okay? If you are not okay, seek help. Don't hold it in. Don't drink it away. Don't smoke it away. Don't do anything other than get help. You've been carrying that around for a long time. Let it go. I know it's easier said than done, but the reality of it is when you make up in your mind to do something, do it. If you are tired of people treating you shitty, set boundaries. 2023, set boundaries. And don't cross those boundaries for anyone, regardless of who they are. Set the boundaries and enforce them. If you're going to keep treating me like shit, I'm going to leave. Where I'm going to go? Make a plan. If you know the person is treating you like shit, if you know your job is treating you like shit, they're not paying you what you're worth, figure it out. You don't want to be there anyways. You want to start your own business. What do it take to start your own business? A LLC, a EIN. A lot of business you could start literally from your home, right at the computer or your phone. Figure it out. Don't leave it to chance. Figure it out. That's all I got. Remember that it is important for you to use your words. That is the only way that anyone will ever know what you are feeling or what you are thinking. I will never let a live video, vlog, short, podcast, anything that I present to you go out without me telling you to love yourself. This includes your faults, your fears, and failures. Know yourself, trust yourself. Now, this is important because, people be like, or you probably even had the situation where you be like, man, I should have followed my first mind. Trust that loud voice, that small voice. Trust the hairs when they stand up on the back of your neck because that's a sign. You might not believe it's a sign, but it's a sign. The goosebumps, that feeling you get in the pit of your stomach. Trust it because it will not lead you wrong. How many times have you said, man, I should have followed my first mind? Trust it. If it tell you don't go into that relationship, don't. If it tell you don't go to that job, don't. If it tell you to not say anything. A lot of times our first minds tell us don't say shit, just be quiet. And no, who they think they is. Be quiet. Be quiet. If it's telling you to leave that friend alone, it's time for you to leave that friend alone. Regardless of how long the relationship in there, it's time for you to leave it alone. You already know that it's time. Sometimes we just need a little gentle reminder. It's time. And most importantly, be yourself. Why? Because you need you. I need you. This great big old world needs you to be exactly who you were created to be. And besides, everybody else is already taken. Now, you have survived a global fucking pandemic for 3 years. It's not gone. People don't talk about it as much, but it's still here. 3 years. It is time for you to set boundaries and stand 10 toes down on those boundaries. If you haven't been paying attention to the news, you should pay attention, especially to world news. Get you some toiletries, non-perishable food items, water, disinfectants, have some cash money, as well as some coins to the side to ensure that in the event that anything happens. Y'all remember 3 years ago when we had to rush out to get water and people were selling water for like $15 and it was only $1 right now? Yeah, make sure in your family you good. Make sure y'all good. If you are an adult engaged in adult activities, make sure that you wrap that shit up. And I'm saying that because despite of being in a global fucking pandemic for 3 years, the STD rates are rising. And I want you and your family to be safe. Because I don't think people realize that when you bring a disease into the home, not only are you and the other person you gave it to are affected, but everyone is affected. And that's not even just with an STD. That's with like anything. If you are not okay, The people in your home is not going to be okay because now they have to deal with you not being okay. Let's get some help, people. Let's go to therapy. Let's get some help. Let's talk it out. That's all I got, y'all. I love you. Until next time, I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Thank you, Chrissy B, for stopping by. If you catch the replay, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with somebody. Every Sunday night at 7, I'm here talking. If you have some ideas or topics that you want to talk about, send it to my inbox. DM me on any social media. It's all in the description box down below. I love you. Peace.